Character Wednesdays. This is now a thing that I want to try to do with my channel, where I go on Pinterest and I find a random pretty item that I want to turn into a character. I see a lot of artists do this on YouTube and Instagram, and I thought it would help me learn to be better with my digital art. My digital art in the past has not been as good as my traditional art, so I wanted to expand on that this year. So my plan is every Wednesday I pick a random pretty item on Pinterest, and then I create a character out of it until I become pretty okay at making characters digitally. This is to expand my skill from just traditional to digital, so I have a wide variety of art on my hands for the year of 2024. So I started off by flipping the reference upside down, as I thought the form translated better in an outfit kind of way rather than an actual character. So I used the bottom as a hat for the character and the vase part as a shirt or a kind of outfit. I initially started using the colors based off of the object, like color picking from the object itself. However, as the drawing progressed, I used outside colors to make it more natural looking, such as the skin tone right here, where it came off a bit gray and dark, and not very warm or skin tone. So I ended up using lighter colors to highlight the skin and use the darker color as a mid-tone to start off from. How I render skin differentiates with the medium I'm using, and I think that's why my digital art hasn't been up to par with my traditional art. Usually the skin I make with my traditional art has more texture, greens from the colored pencil I use, and the skin is just very colorful and vibrant with different colors. Whereas with digital art, usually it comes off grayish or one-sided, just very one tone, and there's no shadows or anything to define the character as much as I do with my traditional art. So that's something I've noticed that I want to work on, and upon re-watching this drawing, I see that I didn't quite accomplish that, but now I know for my next drawing, which you could definitely see next Wednesday, because I'm planning on posting every Wednesday new digital drawings so I can further my digital art experience this year. But back to this drawing, it did come out a bit more gray, the skin tone itself, which I'm glad I'm noticing, so now I know what not to do next time. I also think I highlighted the wrong parts, like under the cheek and in the nose and on the chin, which seem like the correct parts, but I didn't complete all of the highlighted parts that should be highlighted, like some of the points in the ears or more highlighted points in the eyes, like I do with my traditional drawings. In my traditional drawings, I usually highlight the nose, the eyes, some parts of the cheeks. It's just more detailed than I do with digital. However, noticing these issues allows me to grow and see my mistakes, so I can know what not to do next time and how to improve next time. So I'm glad I was able to do that and see that mistake. So in this area right here, I'm starting to realize the character looks a bit pale. So I start to color pick from the original photo and see if I can add more warm tones to the skin tone, which helps a little bit, but it still looks two-dimensional and not as realistic and dimensional as it should be looking, similar to my traditional art. And that's what causes me to get frustrated with some of these drawings sometimes, which just makes digital art less enjoyable than the traditional art process for me, which is why I don't do it as much. But I want to change that this year, so that's the goal. I want to take this moment and thank you guys for the enormous support on one of my first videos of 2024. and the 200 plus subscribers, which I really appreciate. If you want to continue supporting me, I would greatly appreciate comments, likes, subscriptions, anything you can do to help put my channel out there, as it means a lot, and it's contributing to my art goal this year of growing my YouTube channel. You could also follow my Instagram, where I post some of these finished drawings before they go up on YouTube, so if you want to get ahead of the game, you can follow me on there. Anyways, thank you to all the support I've gotten so far, and I look forward to this year and what we can do with this channel. So when deciding what to draw for this first entry of this digital art journey that I'm going to take this year, I decided to do this very Rococo vase thing, which has green leaves in it, which is a huge aspect of my art, and gold and brown, all in the same color palette that I usually use for all of my art pieces. I thought it would be easy to branch off of, but turns out it was actually harder than I initially thought. So because I'm not as experienced with digital art as I am traditional art, I decided to just do a classical, regular character rather than a full illustration. I thought this would be easier for me and baby steps, so I can build off of this as the year progresses. So I decided to do this young boy, kind of like a candle design, and I based the costume that he's wearing off of the object rather than making him the object itself, if that makes sense. I thought that I was doing well, but as I continued to progress in the drawing, I didn't really like how it was looking. But again, I think that's just going to be time that grows my confidence, as none of my digital art I end up liking because I'm just not confident or sure of myself when I'm drawing in that medium. But that's what this whole exercise is about. So with the hair, I chose the darkest shadows, and then I built off of that. And from then on, I just kind of color picked from the original picture and added my own spin onto the character. However, in the future, I think I'm going to be a bit more faithful to the object, so it's not loosely inspired by, so it's not just a little bit of the object and less of the character, because I think that's also part of the exercise too, not just me helping my skills, but also being creative but faithful to the reference photo, something I need to work on a lot. So as I continue this series in the future, because I've linked my Instagram, if you guys have any Pinterest photos or any suggestions, you could definitely send them to me through DM and I will add them to my next video, because I need to build my boards and ideas for different objects to draw, and I'm always willing and open for different ideas, not just for myself but everyone else too, because this channel is not just for me, it's for my audience as well. So yeah, if you feel inclined, totally send me stuff and I will go from there. So for this part, I kind of glazed a different color on top to add a bit more warmth to his skin tone, and I think it really helped out the drawing a bit. However, the only issue is that I was so focused on the face that I forgot the arm area, and then the arm just ends up looking pale and just doesn't match the face's skin tone. So it looks a little off, which I did not like, but I only noticed at the end and as I'm watching this back. So that's something I definitely also want to work on. I am proud that I did deepen the shadows, which is something I haven't done in the past in digital art, so I'm glad I caught that. So here I'm adding highlights to the face, which look better than before, as it brings out the features a bit more. And then I move on to the main gold pieces of the object, which were the most fun thing about the drawing process of this character, as it was interesting putting the shadows and the highlights on the gold pieces, also bringing the character together with the color theme and the pieces, giving it more of a finished look. And finally, I add the leaves, and I decided to add them all over the character to add a bit more liveliness and growth, which also goes back to me at taking creative liberties, which I think I do agree with how I did this, as having the leaves on the bottom would have looked a bit weird. And then this is me shading, or at least attempting to shade, and I just didn't like how it was looking, so I ended up erasing that and added more yellow highlights to bring out the character a bit more. And then I pretty much finished the character, adding a bit more darker shadows to bring out the eyes. Overall, this is how it turned out. I'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.